guys, welcome to the debate competition. I now hand it over to Ria Jalan and Divyani Singh.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into the JPIS fundraising live stream. This is a quick reminder for you to click the link in our description box below and donate to the COVID-19 crowdfunding campaign in association with Give India, Uplift and the Ujala Foundation.
Welcome to the spontaneous debate, where today we will be giving each pair of contestants a topic along with their stance on the motion. The participants will have 1 minute of preparation time and 1 minute of speaking time. We will be following the jam procedure, just a minute. Furthermore, all contestants note that they will be required to keep both hands raised during their speaking time to ensure no cheating and angle their camera towards their workspace during the preparation time. You are, of course, allowed to refer to your notes.
So we firstly have Parth and Sumer. Parth, you are getting the option of choosing the coin side you want, heads or tails, and we will be deciding who gets affirmative and negative via the coin toss. The person that wins the coin toss will be able to choose whether they want to go affirmative or negative, which also decides whether they are first or second. Parth, you can choose now.
Heads.
Seeing that it's tails, I think Sumer, you won the toss.
You can choose whether you want to go for the motion or against the motion, and we will declare the motion and so on.
Against.
Okay, so the motion is that feminism is equity and not equality. And you guys have 1 minute to prepare. And since Sumer is going against the motion, Parth, you will be the first speaker. Thank you.
Can you repeat?
Can you repeat the topic, Divyani?
Yeah, Harshal, just stop the timer. The motion is feminism is equity and not equality. And for those of you who don't know what equity is, it means that people should get equal rights based on their conditions and not on just gender.
Can you define the motion a little bit more?
Divyani, could you define the motion?
Yeah, so feminism is equity and not equality. So basically equality means that everybody should be getting the same amount of everything. But equity means that a person who's poor should get maybe more than a person that is rich, so that both of them can have a similar living standard. Because if I give $100 to a rich person, he will be able to do a lot of things, like for example, more than he does in general life, because it's more money than he requires. But for maybe a poor person, it'll be just getting food, right? So when you talk about equity, it means that the poor person needs more money to come to the richer person's standard than a richer person would need, if you get what I mean. And you can also search it on the net what the meaning of equity. It's similar to equality, but not equality.
The timer is going to start in 3, 2, 1.
Just to clarify, Sumer is against the motion and Parth is for the motion.
And Sumer, as soon as Parth finishes, you'll have to start. You won't get like extra 5-10 seconds because it'll be the same time you have right now, if that's understood.
Thank you, Harshal, for the timer. We'll now have Parth come and speak for the motion.
Harshal, you can present the timer again so that he can note.
I'll start in 3, 2, 1. Right. Feminism is basically the idea of how women in this world are more subdued and so should be treated equally to men. In terms of equity and equality, equity is basically giving resources based on conditions, which is like giving the same finish line to people, while equality gives them the same starting line. However, equity is much better than equality in terms of how it helps a person, right? So take an example where there's two children. One is taller and one is shorter. You give both of them the same block to stand in the bleachers. However, even though both of them have the same block, which is equality, the shorter one won't be able to see the game while the taller one will be. Instead of that, it should be based on conditions, meaning giving the shorter one a bigger block. Similarly, it doesn't matter what feminism is right now, because of course it's both of those things in different situations, but it should be equity, because equity is way more efficient as compared to equality, because it helps a person depending on how their personal situation is.
Thank you, Parth.
You can take another 5 seconds to wrap your last statement up.
If you want.
Yeah, sure. So again, it is more efficient in terms of equity is way more efficient than equality, because equity helps a person based on their current situation, while equality helps people regardless of how they are. So a rich person and a poor person could be getting the same resource.
Thank you. Sumer, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Harshal,
The timer will start in 3, 2, 1.
Well, as stated by my learned colleague from the proposition, feminism is both in different situations or manners. It's sad to say that he was wrong about this, because feminism is actually equality in a more standard fashion. And let's delve into the nitty-gritties or the grassroots understanding of what feminism is. Feminism is the belief of men and women being equal, all right, and there being no discrimination or prejudice based on the sole factor of gender, and hence it falls under the branch of equality, because feminism, under its doctrine, makes no recognition of circumstances, makes no recognition of financial circumstances or any other factor that needs to be changed for an equal status or equal opportunity to be provided for both men and women. Feminism, at the end of the day, is subjective in its definition as a movement, and hence it can't provide equity. However, in the very sense of the word, it can only provide equality or give a sense of it.
Thank you, Sumer.
all right. Now we'll be moving on to the next pair, which is Arihant and Swaraj. All right, you'll be competing against each other. Swaraj, can you choose a side for the coin?
Heads.
All right, Harshal, can you please flip the coin? Tails. All right, which would mean, Arihant, you get to choose if you want to speak for the motion or against the motion.
I would like to choose against.
Against the motion, which would mean Swaraj is speaking first. And for the motion, your motion is technology intensifies human communication skills. I'll repeat.
Can you type it again?
Right, I'm putting it into the chat box. I'll repeat, technology intensifies human communication skills.
And if you haven't gotten the motion, you're basically, if you're for the motion, you will be talking about that, yes, technology does intensify human communication skills. But if you're not speaking for the motion, you will speak against the fact that technology does not intensify human communication skills.
With that said, your preparation time begins in 3, 2, 1.
And to clarify once again, Swaraj is for the motion and Arihant is against the motion. All right, thank you, Harshal. Your preparation time has now collapsed. Swaraj, are you ready? All right.
Yes.
You may begin.
Technology affects the way a person, an individual think and learn. Advances in technology usually led to many social media apps like Snapchat and or Instagram to have come. From this, people can now socially interact with another person. They can now have the skills to um, communicate in terms of text. Now they will be able to uh, communicate from a person in an easier way. For example, uh, if there was no technology and a person was living in America and you are living in India, you couldn't communicate with the person. However, due to technology, you can easily communicate with the person by Instagram or Snapchat or WhatsApp or etc.
Thank you, Swaraj. We'll now have Arihant take
Yeah.
over. You may begin.
Greetings. So basically, technology intensifies human communication skills. Basically, so I would like to say, like in basically now, as we can see in the rise, there are like literally all the people like in the social media. People are in like people even sitting in the same room are using social media, not talking to them like physically. They are not talking. They are just talking on social media, and moreover, like basically now people earlier the people used to go to each other's house, and now all their house are at house parties and stuff, and they forgot the like physical way of talking, physical way of speaking. Like all of them are busy like in everyday life. All they are busy in like just sending snaps of their everyday routine. Instead of that, they can write a journal or stuff. So technology is like basically leading a downfall, as it is like harming the human, harming the basic human like in many ways.
Thank you, Arihant.
So now after Arihant and Swaraj, we will be having Vishwa and Veer, and Veer will be the person who will be deciding the coin toss. So you can choose heads or tails. Veer, are you there?
I think there's a technical difficulty from Veer's side. I think we'll just change the 1v1 face-off between Vishwa and someone else. Divyani, yeah, that's okay. He's texted me personally.
Yeah, okay, but we don't have another option, I think.
No, each person is going to go up against multiple people, right? So anyone can go against Vishwa.
Yeah, okay. So we'll have Vishwa and Parthan because that was the other pool for starting. So Vishwa and Parth, and Vishwa, you will be the one choosing the coin toss, so you can choose heads or tails.
So I choose tails.
Okay, so since you've won this coin toss, you can also choose whether you want to go affirmative or negative. Affirmative is for speaker, negative is second speaker, and affirmative is also for the motion, negative is against the motion.
I'd like to go against.
So for both of you, the motion is religion should not be discussed in school. I am repeating, religion should not be discussed in school. Have both of you gotten the motion? Assuming so, just a reminder that Vishwa, you are against the motion, Parth, you are for the motion.
Means I'll be discussing that yes, religion should not be discussed in the school.
You will be, yeah, you will be discussing that religion should be discussed in school, because the motion is that religion should not be discussed in school. You will be saying that it should, and because Parth is for the motion, he will be saying that it should not be discussed.
The timer can start.
Your preparation time will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Your preparation time is elapsed. Parth, are you ready?
Yeah, I'll start in 3, 2, 1. Right. This house believes that religion should not be discussed in school, and I stand firmly for it. Firstly, there's too many religions, right? There's countless religions to name, meaning that there's too many religions to be brought into the school curriculum and be taught, which means that attention will be taken away from other subjects and placed on these religious subjects, which could be taught way better at home. For example, we have churches and mosques outside of school which are specialized, which have pastors and other people who can teach these children about their religion better. Secondly, a child will face even more peer pressure, right? What if they have friends from multiple religions? What do they do? What if the child is not from a religious background? Then which religion do they choose? Or if there's a Hindu child and he has a lot of Muslim friends, does he ditch his religion and go and study Islam? What does he do? Lastly, religious fights and politics shouldn't be brought into the school system and into our education sector, because it affects the future of our generation. And what if a child has parents, obviously all adults have their political views, and this shouldn't be reflected upon their children, and they shouldn't be discussing all of this at such a young age in school and affecting each other.
Thank you, Parth. Now we have Vishwa. Are you ready?
Vishwa, you will begin in 3, 2, 1.
I personally am of the opinion that yes, religion should definitely be discussed in the schools because school, it develops the personality of a child. There are different religions, different religions, they have different perspectives, and their own cultures, the different schools of thought. So I personally am of the opinion that if a child at a very small age, if he learns about various cultures, their schools of thought, their own perspectives, then it can help in a more overall development of a child. And apart from that, one of the main reasons why I personally believe that religion should be taught in school is that right now there has been a 3 times increase in the crimes that are due to religious. Like there's already a big religious area against different religions, be it Christianity or Islam. So I think that if at a very small age, if a child is taught that there are different religions, they can have their own perspectives. You should respect every religion. So I think that this thing it can particularly help a lot in a child in understanding the different religions, and it can also reduce the crime rate against different religions by a great extent.
All right, thank you, Vishwa and Parth. For the next round, we'll have Sumer and Arihant. Are both of you ready?
Yes.
All right, so Sumer, can you pick a side for the coin?
So guys, before you do that, text me on WhatsApp. Don't text me on Zoom because I'm recording the meeting. Okay.
Sumer, are you here?
Yeah. Head.
Harshal, can you flip the coin? Thank you. All right. Will you be going for the motion or against the motion?
Against the motion.
All right, which would mean, Arihant, you're representing the affirmative side. Your motion is, Harshal, can you present the timer? Thank you. Your motion is torture is never justified, no matter what the situation is.
So I have to speak that it is not justified, right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Okay, so your preparation time will begin in 3, 2, 1.
All right, with that said, your preparation time has now collapsed. Arihant, are you ready?
Yeah, just a second. Yeah.
All right, your time begins now.
So torture is never justified, as all we know, like as we have heard from the people who have been tortured, they are willing to do anything and everything to being like to escape from that crucial pain and fear. People are like, as we know about World War, take an example of a World War only. The Nazis brutally tortured the Jews, and like we can see the conditions at concentration camps. Some of them don't have hands, some of them don't have legs, they can't even survive, they don't have been given food, they are living in a very bad conditions, which we can see. So according to me, torture is should be never be justified. And like and people like the country should ban torture only, as all we know, like torture is crucial and it is not as good as. That's it.
Okay. Sumer, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sumer, you will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Well, as much as I and anyone would hate to say this, torture has been proven to be an extremely efficient and effective method of interrogation. Now, when we speak about torture, we need to ask ourselves something. What is the purpose and what is the definition of torture? The purpose of torture is to minimize harm to a certain group of the population. I'd like to pose the hypothetical question: if someone could have in custody a terrorist who was aware of plans of an attack, wouldn't it be morally justifiable to let them undergo physical pain to extract information to save millions of lives? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to acknowledge the fact that torture is an effective method of interrogation. We need to accept that there are consequentialist ways of thinking, and that we need to prevent a larger group of people from being in harm's way, and hence torture does need to be used in certain situations.
All right, thank you, Arihant and Sumer. Divyani, can you introduce the next?
Yeah. So now we have Vishwa and Suraj against each other. And Suraj, you will be able to choose the coin toss. So you can choose either heads or tails.
Heads.
Harshal, if you can please flip the coin. So since Swaraj has lost, Vishwa, you get to choose affirmative or negative, for or against.
I'd like to go against negative.
Okay. So since Vishwa is going against, and Swaraj, I'm hoping that you're going for the motion. The motion is that social media does more harm than good. So Swaraj, you will be speaking that yes, social media does do more harm than good, while Vishwa, you will be speaking that no, it doesn't do more harm than good. I hope it's clear.
If both of you are ready, your preparation time will begin in 3, 2, 1.
While you're having your preparation time, guys, since we was disconnected, we will only be having 2 rounds per person for the debates, and this will end our debate. After this, we'll be ending the debate, and congrats to all of you. You have really heard some good perspectives, and I've learned a lot from all of you. And your results will be announced on the live stream. So the viewers watching, you will get to know the results. And yeah.
Okay, thank you, Swaraj and Vishwa. The preparation time has come to an end.
Swaraj, you have the floor for a minute for the motion.
Swaraj, you may begin in 3, 2, 1.
Social media does more harm than good. This is because that now the teenagers are using mobile more than they used to before. People now talk on social media rather than talking verbally. They lost their skills of talking verbally. Secondly, social media can lead to depression or anxiety due to cyberbullying that happens in social media. People may threaten them to do something that they do not want to. It also has negative impacts like in advocacy of your life for your own life. You now people have also Now people only do is chat with their friends on phone rather than talking to them and sharing their views about their life. Really.
Thank you, Swaraj. Vishwa, if you're ready.
Yeah, now we have Vishwa. I hope you're ready. You're against the motion. I shall take over.
Vishwa, please begin in 3, 2, 1.
Social media really has a lot of benefits. First of all, I'd like to counter the point of my competitor that he says that social media, it is wasting the time of the teens. But first of all, I'd like to point that nobody is forcing anyone to do anything. It's your own life, it's your own time. You're supposed to be deciding of your life. So first of all, I think I'd like to counter that you cannot just point out on social media that it is wasting time. It is you who is wasting time. Now, counting on the benefits of social media, first of all, it gives a stage to a lot of people, who are not able to speak in the surrounding, and they can use social media as a platform for them to speak out. It can be used for education, and there are so many, social media awareness people, who give out a lot of educational content, which everyone can have access to in free of cost. Apart from that, right now the biggest use of social media is COVID. In this pandemic, where so many people they don't know where to go for other resources. I think COVID, social media has played a really major role in that. Apart from that, people from different countries, they're able to connect with each other. And I think it helps a lot in increasing the world harmony. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishwa and Swaraj, for the debate. With this, we come to the end of today's spontaneous debate. This is a quick reminder for all of you to click the link in our description box below and donate to our COVID-19 crowdfunding campaign in association with Give India, Uplift, and Ajala Foundation.